everyone. Welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting in our weekly Cash or Trash, where we look back at the hot comics of this past week, make predictions sure to go wrong. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. We have a man Unruly in here tailgating a little bit early, as he beat GT Key by just a couple minutes this week. Warriors for Info TV. What is going on? Grab that criminal number one. Well, you know, it's one we're going to talk about. Brandon, what is happening, sir? Moneyball, what is up, my friend? How are you? Just a little podcast. What's going on, Cookie? Deep House, hot comics when they're in a dumpster fire. We're going to talk about that. We are going to talk about that. Yes, happy Monday to everyone, for sure. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I hope your week got off to a good start. It was a Monday. that's what we're gonna go with for me. It wasn't too bad, but it was definitely a Monday. So all right. So what are we doing here? What is Cash or Trash? If you are new to the channel, basically for 5 years now, I've been doing a look back video. The hot comics from 6 months ago. We look back at the hot comics 6 months later, see how they're doing in the market. Should you have chased them? Should you have been patient? And we just see how they're performing in the market. Then this is my attempt at a fun play off of that video where we look at the hot comics of this past week and make predictions sure to go wrong. Like, we have fun with it. We try not to take ourselves too seriously. I do show what my predictions are when I do the look back video in 6 months, but yeah, this is about having a little bit of fun. Try not to take ourselves too seriously. If I say negative comments about a book, it's because I think you're overpaying. It doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean I'm wrong. If I really knew what I was talking about, I would be a lot richer. So how do we do this? What are we doing here? So yeah, that is not the right tab. We throw these books into categories, and what I think generally is going to happen with them. We got our stray cash, homie, books we expect to continue to climb in value. Generally, we don't predict this very often. Generally, it happens. We get about a book a week that ends up being straight cash. Probably not even, more like half a book a week that's straight cash. Generally, when we talk about a straight cash book, it's usually about long term. It's like, okay, this is a classic book. It's hitting the list because of something. We might not even predict that it's going to be straight cash 6 months from now, even on a classic high value book. But long term, yeah, you're going to make money. We got our worth it. These are books that are priced about right. If you buy in at this point, you're not risking losing much. You might not make a whole lot in 6 months, but you're not going to lose anything. A reminder, these predictions are for 6 months. They are not necessarily, unless we talk about it, for longer than that. The I'll be backs, flip side of that worth it going, yeah, you're not way overpaying if you buy in at the book right now, but you're probably going to be able to get a better deal if you're patient. We got our traps. They're going to drop 30, 40, 50%. Usually have several of these a week. These are books that just fundamentally are not going to support the value they're currently going at because, whatever it's got people chasing them is not going to stay in the consciousness. It's not going to support these kind of values. And then we have our dumpster fires that these Deep House already mentioned. These are books that are going to drop 60, 70, 80% of their value. And we have 1 to 2 of these a week, every week. Because they're just fundamentally not valuable in the way that people are chasing them right now. They just will not be able to sustain anywhere near that value. Occasionally we're throwing whatever. It's a book that's like lots of copies are selling, but it's not really going for very much. So if you buy in, you're fine. It's no big deal. Occasionally we're throwing a come on, man, because the logic behind why people are chasing the book doesn't make any sense. So with that, let's see who else has hopped in here. Team Ohana, what is going on? Mahalo. Yes, welcome, sir. So let's, we got 18 books to talk about this week. Although I think we're going to go through this pretty quickly because I think it's some of these are just kind of not worth spending a lot of time on. I'll be honest. All right, first up, we are going to talk about that criminal that Warriors for Info TV commented on earlier. Criminal number one hitting the list because we know this is production for an Amazon series. It's been in production for a while. We finally got some casting news this week. So yeah, this is hitting the list. $20 for a raw copy. 9.8 jumped all the way up to $250. So what does that mean? If this is The Boys, then potentially you're going to make some money off of this. If this is literally any other Amazon comic they've tried to make into a series, you're not. That's really what we're talking about. So yeah, like Raws at 20 are probably fine. If that alone, I would probably say worth it. But we're still a ways out from this actually hitting the list, actually coming out. 9.8 250 is not going to be sustainable in between now and then. This is easily an I'll be back. Borderline trap on that 9.8, but we'll stick with the I'll be back of, just be patient. You'll find a deal. Raw copies, because the raw copies are only 20, that's why we're sticking with the I'll be back prediction for here. But yeah. It does. I never thought about that, but I will now never not be able to see that in the Moneyball. I had not that had not registered in my brain until you just said that, and now I'm like, yeah, that's a Wheaties box. So, thanks for that. All right, we're gonna keep moving. We got Beavis and Butthead #1. Because season 3 of the new series is getting ready to come out on Comedy Central. I guess they're moving it over to Comedy Central. Raise your hand if you had no idea they were making new Beavis and Butthead seasons 1 and 2. Like, I didn't know this was still this was a thing. Like, when they first joked about it on the list today, Ryan and Russ were talking about it. I was like, oh, this is because of the weird Saturday Night Live sketch. And no, this is actually like they're making new Beavis and Butthead. I had no clue that was the case. Hey Dwayne, what is going on, sir? We got a meh. Brandon, what is happening? Yeah, we got the hands up. Did not know. Even with all of that, $12, a 9.8 for 57. This is a class like. I mean, yeah, whatever. There's no real value here. You definitely might as well be back. There's no reason to chase in this moment. For some reason, that did not rep text. That's annoying. Oh, that whole line is weird. Sorry, my spreadsheet's doing weird things. So anyway, yeah, meh for sure on Beavis and Butthead. Come back later. No reason. No. Hey, Carlito. What is going on, sir? Cool, funny guys, but sadly forgot about overtime. There you go. I'll be perfectly honest. I am the right age. Beavis and Butthead did not do much for me. I just found them annoying even then. Yeah, their moment is definitely bad. So probably not the best person to talk about it, because even then I was like, this is just stupid. I'm the right age, but I just thought it was stupid. So everyone else loves it, but not me. Falling in Love on the Path to Hell, the Ryan Gonzalez 110. It's kind of a cool, not Ryan, Ryan, I don't know. It's a 1 in 10, going for 15 to 20. That's an I'll be back. So that's not even doing double. So that means it's going to be a $5 to $10 book. It's going to be a $5 to $15 book is what I should say in 6 months. It's basically going to sit right around the ratio thing. At 15 to 20 on a 1 in 10. Yeah, it's not. You could argue borderline trap because most of the sales will probably be under 10 in 6 months, but yeah, it's kind of a cool cover. I don't know anything about the series. If for some reason the series takes off, then I'm probably wrong. Then it probably does a little. It's probably like worth it as opposed to an I'll be back. But yeah, hey Tony, what's going on? Yeah. I can't imagine trying to binge Beavis and Butthead. Oh my gosh. No, I would not make very far. No, I wouldn't. All right. Next, we got Cult of the Lamb, #1, The Stan Sakai, 1 in 100. I know nothing about Cult of the Lamb. So this is cute, fun. I don't know. 1 in 100 going for 150 to 180. Probably usually ends up around 100, right around the ratio, maybe even less, which puts it, if it's less, then it ends up as a dumpster fire. If it stays around ratio, which is not a huge drawback, then it is Sakai, but I don't know what the fan base is for this. I'll be perfectly honest. If maybe there's a stronger fan base than I realize, but I would lean toward that this is a trap at the best. It's rare for an independent 1 in 100 to do much. I get that they tend to be very limited, even more so limited than like a big 2 1 in 100 because there's not very many of them. But yeah, I would be very surprised. I was sipping earlier, Tony and Carlito, but there's just a little bit left. I actually cracked something new tonight. But yeah, reminds me of Mario. Cute. I mean, I didn't put dumpster fire, but you could talk me into it probably. Hey, Kenneth, what is going on? I put trap, but yeah, it would not surprise me if it's a dumpster fire. Next, we got Grommets, #1, the Brett Parson 110. 1 in 10, doing 15 to 20 on an independent. I think we just said this, more than likely, unless the series, it is Remender, who I tend to enjoy. There's a lot of nostalgia going on here, but generally speaking, like this is probably going to be a $10 book, which is again borderline trap. I'll be back. No reason to really like I haven't heard buzz on this series yet. Typically, you're going to hear buzz on it. Basically, what I said 90% of the time. It was Grimmies in my day. Yeah, I'll be back. No, worry. I don't see. I'll be honest. This week is garbage, folks. They were desperate to put like a 1 in 10 going for 15 to 20 is not almost never hot, and this is 2 of them. And we're gonna get into this list. And there's a bunch of not hot books that are on this list this week because they apparently couldn't come up with a list. Greer Weed is nice. I guess they're coming out with on their bourbon, they're coming out with a cask strength I want to try if I find it, but yeah. Shocking. Tony's whiskeys. Tony's going to have to buy more whiskey. I'm stunned by that. All right, next. Hey, we got a Hellverine supposedly spoiler cover, which is I don't know what this, it's Dakin, it's Wolverine. I haven't been reading the series. I do not understand the love for this weird mashup, but hey, people are chasing it. I'm of the opinion that's going to go the route of Weapon H, and that nobody will even hardly remember it exists 2 years from now. But sure. #1, spoiler cover, 10 to 20. I think this is solidly, and I'll be back. I think it's a 5 to 10, 5 to 12 book 6 months from now. But yeah, there's no reason to chase this. No reason. No. What? Doom? You want to talk Doom, Adam? Well, there you go. Doom. We are ready. Man, to the fire claws, yeah. We're Doom. This is the 1 in 25, the Maria Wolf 1 in 25. Obviously, Doom, this MC Doom thing that's on the inside, it's got people chasing this book. I find that hard to believe that's going to be super sustainable long term. The 1 in 25, which last week was actually cheaper than the. Hang on, I have something happening that's annoying me, and I'm going to fix it right now. Okay. was actually cheaper than the A cover last week. I think the Scream at 55 to 70 for this 1 in 25, a couple weeks in, even with all the buzz, that's terrible for a 1 in 25 generally. Like, that is not a good price. That usually means it's going to be between ratio and double, which is a trap. This just screams trap to me. And it's really people are chasing it because of this page on the inside. Doesn't seem like long-lasting reasons. Miniseries, yes, long term. I don't think it's a miniseries. It's a one-shot. I thought, yeah. But it came at the end of the movie. So, yeah, I'd be super patient on this Dune book. Maybe 6 months isn't quick enough. It's still doing okay in 6 months, but my guess is a year, 18 months from now, nobody's going to even hardly remember the success. That's just me. All right. We're moving fairly quick, but that's okay. All right, next we got Wonder Woman Dead Earth #1. So apparently James Gunn made the recommendation that people should read this. I've actually bought the trade for this a while ago, and I haven't got to it yet. I need to. It's on my list. It's in my pile. Well, it's not actually in the pile. It's on the shelf at the moment, but it's in the, I know I need to read that thing. I would be surprised if this becomes any sort of Wonder Woman movie because of like the nature of it, but he recommended it as like good Wonder Woman stuff, so people are chasing it. It's now a $15 to $20 book, and it will go right back to what it's been, which is a really good read that's not really necessarily worth anything. Honestly, at 15 to 20, I probably should put Trap. But I mean, I think it, like, you look at that Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, that #1 is maintained better. Of course, they think they're going to make that into the movie. But yeah, I would definitely put this as an I'll Be Back. Excellent series. Yeah, that you and I are in the exact same place, Steve House. I've heard it's great. Haven't got around to it yet. It's in my very deep stack of need to read. So there you go. Here first, DWJ read. All right, Mix and Matty B. My first was Murder Falcon. That was the one they got me into, and then I've read Dual Powerbomb. And then I have bought Wonder Woman Dead Earth, which would be my third one of DWJ read, but I have not got around to it yet. So, all right, keep moving, because yeah. Next, we got Moon Knight #1 hitting the list because obviously this is for solo series, but apparently this is the first appearance of Bushman. So apparently people are specking that Giancarlo Esposito is going to play Bushman in the Captain America movie because I don't know if there's good logic. He just costume sort of reminds the image that people saw sort of reminds him of this character. Make myself bigger. I forgot to do that. So yeah. So you're buying this book because of that, instead of it being like, that is the dumbest investment. There's no way first appearance of Bushman actually really legitimately long-term affects the value of this book. Speaking of which, this book was a $1,300 book in the lead up to, for a 9.8 in the lead up to the Moon Knight series. It is now a 9.8, went for $200. Raw copies are going for $50. I think this is solidly, and I'll be back. It's going to be what it is. I mean, it's borderline worth it just because it's come down so much. But I think it actually, like, with no indication we're going to get like any kind of Moon Knight thing going forward, I think it's still an I'll be back that you can find deals. It's probably priced about right, but you'll be able to find deals if you're patient and look for them, is what I would say with this one. So this is truly, in my terms of, like, a lot of times I think when I mention I'll be back, I think it's going to come down in value, like in terms of averages and that kind of stuff. But really, I think this is more of that steady I'll be back in terms of the average is probably going to be pretty close to where it's at right now. Most of the sales are going to be pretty close, but you'll be able to find deals if you're patient and you look. So long term, is it? Like, I mean, I guess a really long term, yeah. I don't know that it, but I also don't think it's necessarily a trap, just because I don't know that the floor is much lower than where we're at right now on this one. That's why I think it's truly kind of a true I'll be back in a true sense of the word. There's deals to be had, but that's not the floor of this book is not much lower than what it's at right now, would be my guess. But I've been wrong before. All right, where are we at next? Superman 264. First appearance of Steve Lombard. Like, does anyone care about this character? They cast him this week. He is another reporter at the Daily Planet, a bit side character. Does anybody think the fact that he's going to be in the movie is going to make this book valuable? What? Raw sales have jumped up to and I realize it's a 1973 book, 15 to 30. I know Tom and him listed a 150 sale, but there was actually a 290 sale on a 9.8 that was listed by the CBSI guys, and it's out there, which paying $300. I realize it's a 1973 book. Paying $300 for a 9.8. What are we doing? What? Dumpster fire. Dumpster fire. What are we doing? Come on. Well, now they think it's Bushmen is what they were expecting, was what that book was about, Three Rivers, but yeah. In the heart of the it's the sports reporter guy. Yeah. No. Now the sale Tom and the report at 150 that's a trap. And I get it, it's a book from the 70s, but it's probably an under $100 9.8. It just is. Like, come on. Character is going to be huge. Just got here. Who is this book? The footballer? It's not the footballer. It's the sports reporter at the Daily Planet that it's always hitting on Lois. That's really, like, that is the extent of his character. Is he's a goofy sports reporter for the Planet that thinks Clark's a nerd and is always hitting on Lois and thinks she can do better. Like, that's the guy that we're going to pay $300 for a 9.8 of. You're making it. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a fun cover. Claude Rains. There you go. If he dates a famous singer. God, don't survive that. I'm telling you. All right, next. Star Wars: The High Republic, #1. Acolyte show launched. I still haven't. Life has kept me from watching it, so I will try to watch this week. As far as I know, none of the characters that actually appear in this book have appeared in the show at least yet. $15, 9.8, 50 to 100. That's basically what this book has been. It's gotten at times more closer to the 50, consistently closer to the 10 than the 15. I would put this as an I'll be back. I would love to see some of these characters. I do think some of these characters are fun and cool. Maybe if one of them shows up, it's not an I'll be back, but I would guess it probably is. Yeah, we'll see what happens with the show. I want to watch it. But like I said, as far as I know, like this book is like 150 years before the Phantom Menace. But I think the show is like 50 years after this book. So most of these people are either old or dead already. Like it's still the High Republic era, but it's later. Like the one character that's supposed to show up is that Vanessa Rowe, who in this book is a teenager freshly minted as a Jedi when she shows up in a few issues, but she's like an old experienced Jedi when we get to the Acolyte show. So we'll see. I have not watched it yet, so I don't know. It's like Scooby-Doo villain. I don't know what that is, but yeah. Hey, he remains. What's going on? Well, Star Wars definitely needs a reboot with a new show, though. It's meh. We'll see. I haven't watched it yet, so I'm not going to comment one way or another because I don't know. Well, the humanoids won't make it. Just leave it for Dave Filoni. No one else is allowed to make Star Wars show. Well, that's probably not a bad idea. All right, next. We still getting X-Men 97 related stuff on the list. X Factor 19, first cover of the Horseman, $15. This is an I'll be back. There's a lot of these in print. This has never been super valuable. I don't think any of the actual Horsemen have their first appearance here. I think this is just the cover. Yeah. Come back later. I realize they've already announced that like they're working on finalizing season 2 right now, that it might not be a full year before we get it, but yeah. Nice. I'm looking forward to it. I really do want to see it. Maybe it'll be great. Maybe it won't. I don't have a like. I really like the High Republic stuff, so I'm looking forward to at least seeing what it's about. It's not a bad idea to like wait till a few more drop. I'll probably, the way my week's gonna go, tomorrow will probably be the first chance I even get to think about watching an episode. So we'll see if I try to watch the first 2 tomorrow or not. All right, next. I don't think there's much more to say about X-Men 97 at this point. X-Force number 2, second appearance of Deadpool, $10, 9.870. They were scraping the barrel to put a book as hot. This is not hot for this book. I mean, it's up slightly, very so slightly, but $10 for this book. I realize it's mostly a $5 book, whatever. 9.8 for 70. It's mostly like a $50 9.8. Okay. I mean, it's an I'll be back. I get it's his second appearance, but it's never, there's literally like 6 million of these things out there. Like, I'm not even exaggerating, I think. There's millions of these things out there, and yeah, they just don't go for very much. There's no reason to like stumble across it in a dollar bin and pay for it then. I'm super behind, but yes, I've enjoyed all the High Republic stuff. So, no. People are always, yeah. How can you dump them? There's like a billion. They just show up. They just keep showing up. All right, the rest of the way, I'm just gonna stay right now, like just in general terms. The last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books outside of the last book. So 4 of the 5, just in general terms. If you are specking on these, first of all, what are you doing? And this is, you're just throw your money in there. Just throw it in there because you might as well. Because I have said this repeatedly. When we have spec'd and we have spec'd and we have spec'd and we have spec'd, and I've seen these books on the list. If it's a symbiote and its name is not Venom and barely even Carnage, maybe a little bit of anti-Venom, but if it's not one of those 3 for sure, and really the first 2, and really the first 1, it's not really worth much. People don't ultimately care. There's a billion symbiotes. Nobody cares. Also, that movie trailer looks like ass. Let's just be like this from somebody who never watched the second one, thought the first one was garbage, and that trailer looks worse than any of the other stuff before it. So here we go down the symbiote train. Venom the Hunted, number 1, first appearance of the Xenophage, which appears to be a big part of that trailer of something trying to hunt Venom. Whether it's being controlled by something else or that's the main villain or what, I have no idea. If you're paying $10 to $15, that's too much, but not the worst thing. If you pay $200 for 9.8, while not the $300 we mocked earlier for the Superman 264. If you paid $200 for 9.8 of this book, you should have your head examined. It's a trap. Like, think of what. Here's the thing. Carnage's first appearance in the aftermath of that movie dropped so much. It was cheaper than what it was before people knew he was going to be in a movie. Like, and it's really not recovered. If you think Xenophage is going to be a $200 9.8, and once this movie hits, I have lots of beachfront property to sell you right here in Missouri. Ocean View, you should come buy it. I got it for you. Just send me the check and I'll send you the deeds. Come on. I mean, yeah, no. Didn't watch part 2. Yeah, I didn't watch part 2. All right. So there's Xenophage. Next, we just have the Eric Larson cover. There's not really a first here. It's just a cool Venom Spidey cover, I guess. I've never particularly loved this cover because I don't understand the green drool. Like, why is it not like a off light blue, like actual drool? I never understood the green drool. I've never understood it. I don't think it looks good. I don't get it. I don't get it. But anyway, so this book is lots of copies are selling. $20, 9.8 for 110. I mean, this cover goes for a little bit anyway. It's not really outside the realm of oh yeah, Dumpster Fire. Did I not say on that Venom the Hunted Dumpster Fire on that 9.8? Yeah. This one's just an I'll Be Back. This is a book that has some value just because, yeah. Venom just ate Kermit. No, I guess maybe not. Is there an actual explanation? Have I missed that over the years? Or if I have, I've forgotten. Thank you, Brandon. We're going to get there in just a second. But yes, it's not his first appearance or the first appearance of Carnage, and it's a symbiote book. Don't buy it. I'm waiting for Aggressively to actually send me something ridiculous that's not the truth, but just write it in a way that makes me believe it. And I was correct. There's just enough here that makes you think maybe, but there's no way. It's just he does such a good job with this. He does such a good job with this. I don't actually believe this, but he writes it with such conviction that it makes me think maybe he's not actually BSing. Why is this cover such ass? If you don't like this cover, there's people that do, but yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it because of the green nastiness. Yeah, that's nasty. All right, next. Venom Lethal Protector number 2. Remember the words. I'm going to go back to this. So much drool this week. Let's clear that right up. See, even now I'm not sure if you are or not, which is amazing and what I love about you. Because because most people that are I just assume they're making crap up. You tell the truth enough that you keep me on my toes, and I'm never quite sure. First appearance of General Orwell, which appears to be a character that people are paying $8 for, and a 9.8 for 75. And I just say, who? Remember when everyone was chasing number 4 with all the symbiotes? And you think this character's going to be worth anything? I need to stop. I never did get my stop it meme. I need to get it. I need to stop it. All right. If that's the case, that's disgusting. I'm getting texted. I'm like, people do not respect. Oh, okay. So yeah. All right. Where are we at? I don't know. Still more Venom. Venom versus Carnage, number 1. First appearance of Patrick Mulligan becomes Toxin. And we're back to paying $25 for this book, even though he appeared in the last movie, and the book immediately went back to being like a $5 to $10 book. And we're paying $25. And I mean, it's really just the logic behind it is like dumpster fire. I mean, I guess if you're buying it for the cover, maybe, but yeah. Then you don't want them to make it. If you want a good Null movie, you do not want Sony to make it. Let's be real. Like, I'm with Ryan and Russ on this one. Like, when they were talking about this, like, Ryan was like, oh, they could have done so much with the Donny Cates Null run. And then, but look at that trailer. Do you really want them to even attempt to make a Null movie? Because it would be bad. My guess is he shows up. It's like, we got the Xenophage, but it's being controlled by Null. And my guess is like, yeah, they're going to butcher it. That they're going to butcher it. That's just where Sony and these Spider movies are at this point. I would not want them to make anything related to a character I cared about. The dumpster is getting full today. Yes, the dumpster is full today. I think I actually put that as a trap, but yeah. But yeah, it's. I said literally when you got to the Venom 3 stuff, all of them, but the last one belonged in the dumpster fire. We're doomed. We need an animated, maybe a better chance. And then the actual only good, truly important, truly valuable symbiote book, and boy has it come down from what it once was, but still at $3,000 for 9.8. They said the average is 600. I didn't look, but my guess is raw copies are actually, you can probably get into a raw copy for a couple $100 for less than 600. But this one has come down so much in the post. No Mobius, no Madam Web. Are we even? Is the Craven movie still coming out? Did it come out and I just missed it? Was it out and gone that quickly? Kind of like the Madam Web thing? Yeah. For the CGC 9.0. I mean, yeah, this is actually a good book. Worth it. I think it's at current prices, it's probably actually worth it. It probably is. It's come down enough from the boom that at this point we're probably near where the floor is on this book. And yeah, that long term, it's definitely straight cash that you're going to gain compared to where it is right now. So in short term, I think you're probably fine too. So, all right. So it has to come out yet. Okay. I actually wonder this. I wonder if I just flat missed it at this point because I thought it was supposed to be out before Madam Web, but I haven't seen it. And now they're dropping trailers for Venom 3. So, like, yeah. All right. So that's it. Those are the books this week. It was so big. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. I hope you got some entertainment out of this. Never take ourselves too seriously when we do this, but yeah, there was a lot of I felt like they just reading the list and watching the video that they were just grasping at straws to come up with lists this week, and they had to do 37 symbiote books just sort of because. Hey, Vinny, you are just in time for me to say goodbye, but thank you for stopping by. Worst week ever. I'm stoked. Yeah. Well, maybe then that maybe makes me wrong on that one if people really love the series, but more than likely I'm probably right. All right, gang. I'm gonna get out of here. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me, and yeah. Whoa, what did I do? Oh, there we go. Yeah, that was weird. I won't even try to explain what my computer did there. That was weird. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Later.